talking about local government election for some years. We in PJ has been at the forefront of this advocacy of local council elections. Well, even before 2008, we were known as the Coalition of Good Governance, but nothing gets done. Had it not been for YPJ right now, I think we would have been buried, but still alive. Okay, that's the point. We must thank the YPJ right now for keeping it alive. One significant thing that we have achieved in MyPJ in the last 18 months was the getting together of Safe Care and Penang Forum. That's the most significant things we have ever done. Otherwise, we would be isolated and bullied. So that's, I think, one of the things that we discussed in our first meeting with these two colleagues was, hey, having a conference like this. And I'm pleased that after 18 months, we have got this conference and this dialogue continuing. When Thomas was appointed as chair to Bersih 2.0, he was kind enough to organize a discussion with MyPJ, Safe Care, and Penang Forum. And I asked him this direct question. I told him this, Thomas, I'm feeling very pessimistic. And after 12 years, we are getting very tired. I said, there have been so many battles. Continuous battle. From the Padang to this and that, it's been a continual battle at the community level. And I'm sure many of you share this. Unless Bersih get on board. That was the message I told Thomas. And I'm so pleased that Bersih is on board now. I think we have to have that cross. Without Bersih, I think we would be buried and that. Okay. That's the situation that we are in. One direct benefits of getting Bersih on board was that we got invited to Indonesia. Okay. So my job today is to get you excited. Well, excited is not the right word. I want to get you angry, actually. How far we have been left behind with respect to our friends di seberang. So my job here is to report to you what we did. So we had representative from Penang Forum, MyPJ, and Safe Care was supposed to be there, and we had Bersih 2.0 representative as well. Well, we were brought to see all the chiefs of all the election institutions in Indonesia. We were privileged to do that. We thought there would be only one election commission. No, there are 3 institutions that manage elections. They have this Komisi Pemilihan Umum, the one that is equivalent to our election commission. They have the Bawaslu. The Bawaslu is a supervisory, plays the supervisory role. That, hey, any one of you who does anything wrong in elections, then you can complain to Bawaslu. And then there's another called the DKPP. The role of the DKPP is that even if you have complaints against the Pemilu or Komisi or Bawaslu, you can complain to this DK. So you see, in terms of institution, we are already 3 steps behind. And they are willing to challenge these new ideas about new institutions that they developed after 20 years of we call it reformasi. Many of you may not like the word reformasi, we call it ubah. But what really is that ubah that we are fighting for? Suharto was toppled in 1997. And what's happening in Indonesia now, democracy in Indonesia now, after 20 years. On this 17th of April 2019, they will go for their general election. 17 April 2019. That polling date was known to every Indonesian 2 years beforehand. And in our case, we were told about what? 2 weeks beforehand. So that's actually one significant point that needs to be established. Okay? Besides institutions, what are the process that we in order to have proper elections? As I mentioned, there are 3 elections commissions that takes care of elections. And on this 17, all Indonesians will have 5 votes from the president to the wakil daerah. 5 votes. And you are struggling with, my friend here has only 1 vote. He lives in KL. Okay? So, that's 5 votes, you know. 5 votes. Seriously. And when we hear from, well, with due respect to YB Zuraida, budget is a constraint. Not to the Indonesians. Budget is never an issue because they say election is a core fundamental rights of democracy. And that's enshrined in their, what they call reform agenda reformasi. That's one of the promises they made. So let's not here describe that there's no budget. We want our budget to be spent to restore our rights. And we thought there was over three meetings in a day. I thought we could have time to buy our batik, you know. But no. So they brought us to see what we saw. We were supposed to meet a group of NGOs. So one thing I noticed was that they were all youngsters, young people. I was the older one. I have my friends here who has no hair, so I was not all right. You know, a vibrant civil society movement in Indonesia, and jealously guarding what they call as agenda reformasi. Amazing! You see those pictures? Young people, and they are big names. So we were not expecting a big crowd. You know, I thought we would be having coffee and tea, and they were all there speaking about human rights, about rights of the minorities, about this, about that. And one of the things we were also brought to see the human rights commission. Another day of a group of young people, student activists, scholars, in a gathering like this. And one thing I learned, and it's about engagement. They talk about engagement. Engagement with your adversaries. Engagement with those people who want to separate from Indonesia. They had a bigger challenge than us. They had Aceh wanting to separate. They had Timor. They had, you know, every province wanted to have a separation. Had it not been for that kind of vision to engage, to be inclusive. And I like that picture that you showed. Everybody has a role. And I learned about this movement also. They call it, they introduce themselves as, oh, I'm a Gus Durian. You know the influence of Gus Dur in engaging your adversaries. The Malay word, I learned a lot from my elders as well. You know, the Malay word for engagement is santun, menyantuni pihak yang berkuasa. I think we need to learn that. You know, I find it, I'm encouraged by what has been said by Thomas. Hadi, you must not treat him as an adversary. You cannot lynch him, you know. You have to bring him in. And I'm also encouraged by Dr. Wong that, you know, it's the pagar that we need to take care of, you know. Okay? So it's about, you know, reconciliations. They talk about this a lot. So, well, a lot that I tap out actually, as my takeaways in the meeting. Okay? Are we really serious about Umar? Okay? When we say we want to ubah what is it you want to ubah? Okay? What's serious? Are you just happy with the toppling of the last regime? I think we should not. We need to establish what is our reform agenda. Do you know what your reform agenda are? Do we share that reform agenda? One thing I learned from the Indonesians, they have this group of people who look at reform agenda. Let's agree to this. Let's say they engage the military, because the military was one stumbling block. The biggest stumbling block of the Indonesian reform was the military. How do they engage these people? How do they send these people to the barracks? Learn from them. It's about engagement. You know? And who are driving the agenda? I asked this question to them. We have the role of civil societies as the watchdog. On top of that, they have scholars, they have students' movement that look after this, guarding jealously about their reform agenda. In our case, I don't think we have that privilege because of our coup. We have been handicapped. Our student movement is dead. Our scholars are better left unsaid. Okay? As I repeat, in ensuring democracy, budget should not be an issue. We must tell our representative that, come on, we want it back. We want to restore their rights. And inclusivity. Well, no matter, you know, I find it difficult to reconcile that as if we are at war. Come on, we are not at war. We need to engage these people. No, the message to the politicians is that, come on, stop this lynching of your opponents, okay? Don't leave them there. We need them. And last but not least, the role of civil society, the role of people like you, the role of activism, where it matters, you know. At the end of the day, you know, it's about what? People. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MyPJ Esham.